Morning folks, it's Friday. What does that mean? It's kind of Santander cycle day. It also means it's Blues and Royals day, but only temporarily. What do I mean by that? I mean it's only temporarily. Oh, Santander cyclists are back. They've got a little group snap here to put on their mantelpiece to make their parents proud. I get it. Okay, so horse-wise, oh yes, I remember. This is, I think, actually wait, no it's not. Wait, maybe it is. There was a naughty horse here yesterday. A horse that didn't like the rain at all. Oh, he nipped her straight off, that was that. I can't remember if this is that horse. That horse is Harvester. The problem is we've got three at the moment that are here that look exceedingly similar. Harvester, Holcomb, and there's another one. Looks like Harvester's brother, and that is problematic. Why is it problematic? Well, because it's hard to remember which one is which, unless you've got a very detailed, annotated list, complete with photographs to match the list to. See, this horse, very similar looking. Yes, it's different. Why? The blaze is more pronounced. It has 4 exceedingly fluffy socks. In fact, those socks would be great for skiing. Maybe this horse thinks he's going on some sort of alpine journey this weekend. Those socks are really comfy looking, aren't they? Like Danish endurance horse version, equine version. Okay, so I focused on the Blues for a little while because, as mentioned, they're leaving this morning. So she, fortunately, standing right in the camera, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to keep an eye on the courtyard more than typically. It's a cold, chilly morning. What I mean by that? 10 degrees. I notice it's cold, one, because my fingers are cold, but two, and more importantly, the police are covering their faces. No, it's not some sort of pseudo-military coup in place, guys. They're doing it because it's flipping cold. Standing still in one position, static, for a good period of time is problematic. So, as you can see, police are fully covered today. In fact, so is the trooper, kind of. I mean, he's not absolutely covered, but he's pretty covered. And I've just noticed, actually, that there are some lovely Blues just inside the stable area getting ready to depart. Look, already on horseback, the first two. They're quite early, actually. Actually, in fact, they're very early, thinking about it. If it's exactly 15 minutes to, I mean, typically they would go out to the back here at 5 to. I can't believe they can sit on the horses for 10 minutes and then sit out the back for another half an hour. The guard on this side, lady guard, we've got on this side, in the arches, will also be finishing this morning. Last morning. For a good few days, actually, for the Blues. They won't be back until next week. Yeah. Haven't actually opened the shop this morning either. Maybe because they're still busy defrosting the generator at the back. Yes, it's that cold. Now the question is, if they're already on the horses, are they imminently about to leave, or are they just waiting some time? Because if I go back to the front, we'll miss it. If, however, I stay here, it could be quite a wait. It's a tricky one. I'm only seeing 2 at the moment. Wait, there's 3, 4. I think there are 3 in there. I can't see a 4th. There would ordinarily be at least 5 riding out, so I guess they're still preparing the other 2 horses. I'm going to mill in the yard, guys. It's going to be more sensible. It's a bit busy this morning as well, so running in and out in my usual fluid way is not going to be as easy to do today. So I think, yeah, I'll stick it out in the corner here. It is pretty busy, look. Yeah, that's a good number of people. Bear in mind, it's only 13 minutes to 11 in the morning. Nothing's even happened yet. The police are not even fanning out yet, so there is very, 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 very small chance that they're going to be leaving in the next 5 minutes. That said, I bet the gates will open now and they'll head off. I noticed, folks, that a lot of you liked the background information and explanation vis-a-vis the function of the chitsman and the gatesman, and more importantly, how their respective names came about. That might end up becoming a reference video. I was on a bit of a roll that day, I don't know why, it just sort of flooded out, and having re-watched that video, I think the day before yesterday, after I posted it, it was surprisingly, and I do mean this honestly, it was surprisingly accurate. Why surprisingly? Well, when there's that much information to process, God, I can't even speak this morning. When there's that much information to process, it's not easy to be filming and looking on what's going on in here, and at the same time, giving an accurate narration. The trooper just took down the middle chain, so they are going to be leaving very soon. Next up, I think, will be to bring in the horses. That said, we need some lifeguard horses here before they can take off the blues horses. So first up is definitely going to be that first squadron, of blues leaving from the troop that are currently here. When I refer to squadron and troop, each of the 2 regiments have 3 troops: Troop 1, Troop 2, Troop 3. 6 troops in total comprise collectively the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment. The troopers, I've heard them many times refer to a squadron. This squadron of troopers are going to be at King's this week or this day or tomorrow or whatever. So I take a squadron to mean, I don't know, between 10 and 13, depending on whether it's an ordinary normal guard or a long guard. Okay, so the chain is down, the boxes are open, tourists are assembled. Trooper is obviously looking forward to going back to Hyde Park on the left there, and the horse is ready to depart. Okay. Alright, this is the point when everybody gets told to get the whatever's back. If they don't, the horses will just push them out of the way. Here they all are. 4, 5, and chap I recognise a note at the end, the NCO, Lance Corporal of Horse number 6. Okay, the tourists actually surged forward then. The troop was saying get back, but they all surged to the corner where I was and tried to stand in front of me. No, tourists, sorry. Okay, there we go. This is the point at which everybody thinks, hey, I'm going to run down the tunnel and see what's happening. And you know what? I can hardly blame them. When I was a naive young man, those early days and weeks here, I would do this as well. I would also walk down the tunnel like a zombie, just like this. But then I suddenly realised, hold on, that's not the way to do it. Why is that not the way to do it? Well, because out the back, yes, it's exciting and interesting, you've never seen it before, but, and this is fundamental, out the back, not very much happens at all. Not very much at all happens out the back. And why does not a lot happen? Well, there are 2 reasons. One, the respective regiments have to wait for the other regiment to arrive. So the blues that have just gone to the back now are going to sit there for a little while. Let me actually look at the phone and tell you how long they're going to sit there for. It's 10:51. They're going to sit there for a good 5, 6, 7 minutes. So long, actually, that I'm going to go back to the front. Because the Reds, lifeguards, haven't even arrived yet. They're not even here. Blues go out first, half of that squadron, as you just saw. They will wait out the back until the lifeguards arrive. What happens after the lifeguards arrive? Hey, very soon, everybody, you're going to see it. Guys, all right? Yeah, you will see. So in the meantime, I'm going to stay at the front. When I think that the lifeguard arrival is imminent, I will dart through the gate. Now that most of the tourists have run from the courtyard through the tunnel to the back to watch the morning changeover, and it is worth watching. If you've never seen it before, if you're a tourist to London, it is worth watching. I mean, no way denigrating the excitement of watching that ceremony, but having seen it myself, I don't know, 200 times this year probably, it doesn't hold a huge amount of interest for me. It's a lot of waiting around, and often they will close the gates and you'll be stuck there, sometimes for more than 30 minutes. So I'm going to take the smart option and stay at the front, only darting inside the gate when I actually see something that I need to dart inside the gate for. Like, for example, the arrival of the lifeguards, or departure of the second half of the Blue Squadron. I'm still on the fence actually whether this is Harvester or Holcomb. This big fuzzy socked horse. Oh look, Holcomb. Harvester. I'm not sure if you recognise his name. He is a perky a teeny bit. Blaze, eh? They really could be twins, these two. Lucky tourists to get a horse and a guard like this for their morning pictures. Very. I can't remember if this is the nippy horse, in fact, that likes to help itself to tourist clothing and accessories. Yeah, I think this horse got a particular predilection for Spanish tourists. Look, licking his lips, deciding. Unusual actually, even on a guard change morning, to have this many people that are wanting, well, shoved out of the way, that are wanting to go up for their pictures. Oh, hammers on the reins. God just jerked it straight off. You see that? Naughty lady. The casual stroll over and grabbing over the reins. Then I didn't see it obviously because she's on the other side, but I saw the way the guard jerked the reins out of her hand. Again, look, guard is keeping the reins tightly pulled. Again, look, pulling her back. Wait, I'm not even sure if the horse is a mare. No, I think it's a gelding, pulling him back. It's like, hello, tourist. Understand the horse's body language is basically saying, don't touch me, get lost. I admire the persistence, but at the same time, it's odd that people do persist. The Blues and Royals have been here for several days now. The horses are probably well over it. They've been touched to death. Right, a little loud, no? Right in the front, maybe go along a little bit. A lot of us are recording it. Way too loud. Yeah, but why do this PA system? It's completely ridiculous. They can't hear you when you speak. Do I sound unrelaxed? I'm just asking politely. It sounds a little bit odd for you guys to be screaming right behind me with a microphone. Yeah, behind us, guys, we've got our tour guides. Here we are, look. They think I sound upset, angry when I simply, as you heard, politely requested that they don't scream in my ear with a PA system. Am I right or not? Absolute idiots. They've gone anyway. With their stupid PA system. It's kind of like, if you can't speak loud enough, get a new job, no? Anyway, they've buzzed off to the other end. It's unbelievable. Yes, it's a public street, but I could say the same thing. I'm not going to run along here with a massive speaker system screaming a bunch of nonsense that is not even factually correct half the time. Anyway, back to the horses, guys. The reason I swear the guy was going to laugh then for a second. Goodness me. It's not just the fact that I'm concerned. There's myself here. There are 3 other people to my right, recording and or narrating. And somebody came up and stood right, I swear he did it intentionally, right behind us and started with that PA system right in our ear. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. Anyway, they've completely buzzed off now, so we've got peace and quiet again until the next one arrives. It's fundamentally about being polite, isn't it? You know, as you guys often know, if I'm sometimes narrating a video and there will be other people around recording, trying to take videos or anything else, I will often be quiet and I'll warn you in advance. Hey, I'm going, especially on the lives. You know, I won't be able to speak for a little bit because there are people around me. It's all about being considerate. Anyway, we've only got a couple of minutes, so I wasn't expecting that encounter. Anyway, that's dealt with. There's the other one. I'll still keep an eye out for the lifeguards. They will hopefully, at any moment, be arriving. When they do, I will dart through. Quick, sharp. It's 2.5 minutes at the moment. Yeah, 2.5 minutes to 11. Imminent arrival. Yeah, they haven't actually arrived yet. Best thing about the lifeguards arriving, those winter cloaks, and incidentally guys, a lot of you picked up in different comments about coats, cloaks and everything, etc. To clarify, okay, some people said you can't have a cloak with long sleeves, etc, etc. I did some research, I talked to some of the guards, and to a guard unanimously, okay, including all the way up to NCO level, it is a cloak, okay? It's referred to as a winter cloak. It's not fully waterproof. Why? Because it's primarily a woolen coat, okay? It's designed to keep out the cold. It doesn't need to keep out the water. Why? Well, because most of the time the guards are in the arches or in the box. So if there are moments that they get wet and it rains, etc., they're quickly able to get themselves out of the rain into the arches or into the box. So, yep, it's about keeping warm. And that cloak, I won't mention why, let's just say I've held one of them. It's a very heavy piece of clothing, okay? An exceedingly heavy piece of clothing. That cloak weighs as much as the rest of the uniform underneath it together. It's that heavy. Right, there we go with the bing bongs. We've got a Chelsea pensioner here. Lovely Chelsea pensioner selling poppies. Okay, I'm going to get myself over onto the corner very quickly before they arrive. There we go. Right, lifeguards are at the back. They've just arrived. And the yard, gloriously, wonderfully, spectacularly, is virtually deserted. Why? Because it means we don't need to worry about, should we say, I don't know, things, people, whatever, getting into the frame. I do try my very best, people, to give you the very best footage here, ideally without obstructions in the frame. The bong you're hearing now, actually, if the microphone's picking up, that bong we just heard a second ago was Big Ben. A lot of people say you can't hear Big Ben from Horse Guards. Oh yes, you can. If it's a relatively quiet time in the yard, you can hear Big Ben when it bongs. Right, here they come through the tunnel. One horse is not in a good mood at all already. Look, he's literally jumping up and down. Look, that's a very jumpy horse. Clippy, cloppy, jumpy. 1 and 2 after clippy, cloppy. And 3. Oh, I think he's going to smash down the stable doors. 4. Oh, fantastic to see this guard back. And number 5. Wow, that was a very jumpy horse, the first one. I heard him kick. We couldn't see it because the concrete or stone pillar is there. It's actually stone and concrete, but that horse was very cloppy going through the gate. Not sure if you heard that, like clippy clop bang bang. Goodness me! Wow, I'm most interested to see how the lifeguard horses behave once they're out and about. The thing is, guys, which box do we choose? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. To which box should I go? Okay, it's that one. Yep, it's that one over there. That is going to be our box today, folks. Now, just thinking about what happens next. New horses will come out next. So change over the horses next. And after that, the rest of the respective regiments will either enter the yard or leave the yard. So this, my money is on, is going to be the right side. I mean, there isn't really a right and wrong side, but you know, the better choice of sides. But everything kicks off on the other side now. Okay, so back to the front I'll go, because for the moment the yard is going to be fairly quiet. Actually, that said, I'll wait until the horses come out. That way I can see which 2 horses are coming out and get an idea of which box. I won't be able to run over to the other box because the centre of the yard is closed, but I will be able to film both horses pretty well from this corner, I'm thinking. Notice it's building up already. Again, people that are here. We've got no Archies or Taurons yet. Archies, guys, are not talking about people from Highlands of Scotland. A blessed name that is. Oh, sometimes just looks at me like, why are you talking to me? Like, dude, I'm not. So Archies are people that walk into the arches and get shouted at. Get out of the arches, step back, make way for the King's Lifeguard. You've heard it. And one of yesterday's videos confirmed exactly how that process works. Yes, somebody walks in and boom, they get shouted at and screamed at, and boom. 11:03. Yeah, it could be in fact 5 to 10 minutes before they bring out the other horses. Let's enjoy a little bit of time with the existing ones at the front before they are pulled off for what will be a good number of days. Somebody got a perfect picture there with a glorious horse, and I dare say this guard is delighted at the prospect of finishing here and having a weekend off. Bear in mind, actually, let me think. Last weekend, the Blue. It's been a fortnight, 2 weeks since the Blues had a weekend off. Yeah, typically 2 a month. So I dare say she and her colleague at the other end are delighted about that fact. That said, it might not necessarily be a weekend off in the sense of no work. A weekend off of duty here equals being back at home barracks. That doesn't necessarily mean not being at work. Odd as it might sound, and I say odd because when the troopers are here, they stay here, they live here for a few days. So they will come along with all of their kit, sleepy clothing, toiletries, whatever, all of it, plus their number 1s and 2s uniforms. And they will stay here, sleep here, live here for the duration of their time as kingsguard here at horseguards. Okay. Now sometimes that can be just 1.5 days, sometimes typically it's 2. Occasionally, if it's a weekend duty, it's 3. Very occasionally, but it does happen. They will pull a 96-hour, which is 4 whole days. Okay. Now, why would you think that would be easier to lug all your kit over here and be on King's Guard? Aha! Let me tell you why. Because over here, when they're on duty, the ratio of troopers to horses is healthier than at the barracks. Okay? What do I mean by that? Okay, so at Hyde Park Barracks we have well over 100 horses. Now, roughly speaking, I'm not going to give the exact number, but let's just say roughly speaking, there are a couple of guards to every half a dozen horses. Over here, when the guards are on duty at King's, there is, wait for it people, a guard to each horse, obviously, because they each ride a horse over. So the ratio of guards to horses is an exceedingly healthy one. Why, in that case, would the guards prefer to be on duty here at Horse Guards? Because the work in terms of looking after the horses is less demanding. Okay? They have a horse to look after each effectively, whereas at Hyde Park they could be looking after 3, 4, 5 occasionally, depending on if a lot of troopers are away or on leave, as many as 6. Now we all know, horsey people of course, we all know that bedding down and making sure the horses are fed, watered and healthy, a lot of work, even when you've got a horse, your own horse. Imagine doing that or having that responsibility for 3, 4, 5, 6 of these massive, glorious HCAV horses. A lot of work, eh? So that's why being here at Horse Guards on King's Guard duty, they call it King's Guard duty, some troopers call it over at King's they call it on stag. It depends on whether they're boxmen or foot guards. But that's the way it is, people. Yeah, that's why there is a preference for being on duty here. I mean, that's not a universal truth. I must clarify that statement. Plenty of troopers that I know have transferred back from London to the other side of the regiment. Bear in mind that only half the regiment are in London. The other half, this being an armoured reconnaissance regiment, the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, the other half of the regiment, their permanent home base is Alford, which, oh god, here we go. I don't actually know, but I'm pretty sure, from memory, is in Wiltshire. So in the southwest, some distance from London, a couple of hours in the car from London, down the M4, heading towards Swindon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bilford is in Wiltshire. So that's where the majority of the regiment spend the time. What does that mean? What are they doing when they're there? Well, they're an armed regiment fixing tanks and making sure kit is prepared should it be needed. And obviously, for a lot of guys that sign up, and the girlies, some of them, who doesn't like playing around with tanks and artillery and so on? Simple as that. I'm still keeping an eye through that gate for movement, because at the moment it's pretty hectic in there. Look. Don't want to miss it, people. You know how annoying it is when we miss the fun inside the gate. See if the horses are just inside. I'm pretty sure that at this point they'll be getting ready to replace them. There's 5 lifeguards have been in for a good 5-7 minutes now. Okay, no, they're not at the gate yet. They are still on horseback at the rear. Going to be a good few more minutes minimum. And make sure I'm in a place where I can be inside or at the front with just 30 seconds notice. So let's see. It's quite reasonable here for a Friday morning, actually. It won't last, obviously, it never does, but yeah, for the moment. Shop's already doing a roaring trade. That did not take long at all. Somebody was super naughty. They put up a little sign on the wall saying guard shop this way, i.e. through the arches, past the guard. Imagine how many of the tourists will get screamed at. I think actually that's better than my Haagen-Dazs pop-up idea. I'm going to wait until I hear the actual cloppy sounds of the horses before I come back in again. Double false alarm. Now, I didn't recognise Overlord in that troop of lifeguards, sorry, that squadron that came over of the lifeguards. It doesn't mean that he's not here. Overlord being the single largest horse in the lifeguards. He's often ridden by the corporal of horse. So let's see what happens when the rest of the lifeguards come through, which horses they've brought with them. I know a lot of you are also anticipating the return of Glorious Pagan, that very unique marbled mare. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble getting in and out the gate really fast this morning. I can see that already. We get a much better look at the lifeguard horses once the first two come out and replace the blues, but more importantly, once the second half of the squadron come through the tunnel. I will definitely dash back to the inside after we've caught the boxmen having been changed over. I mean, that it really is imminent. Any moment that's going to happen, in fact. Time now is 11:12. Interesting as well. I'm not sure if it's very early prep for Remembrance Day, which is actually next Saturday. It's not going to be Remembrance Sunday, it's going to be Remembrance Saturday. The 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month is on a Saturday, next Saturday, 11th of November. They've started dropping those exceedingly heavy steel, what are they really? I mean, I guess they're kind of barriers that they drop on the road to stop not only pedestrians crossing through, but any traffic entering. So although Whitehall is open for the moment, my money is on it being closed, completely sealed for Remembrance Saturday next week, and rightly so. Last thing we need is it being Saturday, last thing we need is multiple protests converging here at once, disturbing, what should be a silent time of reflection and remembrance. So if they're planning this far ahead, I see that as being a huge positive. I don't know if they've actually already started to lay them at the other end, the Parliament Square Big Ben end. It's the end we're looking at in front now. That's the Trafalgar Square end. And they've already dropped them down. They were not there yesterday, so they must have been laid overnight. I've got a feeling that the swarm from the palace this morning, that will be happening around noon, just before, between 11:45 and noon. It's going to be a big one. Bearing in mind this is the first completely dry morning we've had this week. Okay, so the officer is telling everybody to get behind the second white line. What does that mean? It means the horses are coming out. Here they are. Morning. Good, you? Okay. Here we go, folks. Now, I'm not seeing pagan. Horse on the left looks very familiar. I think we've got Mr. Kloppy on the right there. Remember, on the way in, one of the horses was not in a good mood at all. Yeah, it's that one. I'm not sure the guard's going to get him in the box this morning. He doesn't look like he wants to go in the box at all. Obviously it had to be, it had to be the exact diametric opposite of what I just said would happen. What a surprise. Doesn't mean he'll stay there, but yeah, for the moment he's in there. Okay, and more importantly, in come, there's two spectacular blues horses. Goodbye for now, guys. 1 and 2. Fantastic. I did tell you about that lady guard, didn't I? You just heard it, guys. She just screamed in that tourist's face to make way. Why? Because she needs to go to the tunnel. Her regiment, Blues and Royals, need to be relieved by the lifeguards. That will be the next thing happening here in the centre. The horses seem pretty settled. So what I'm going to do is try and make my way into the tunnel to capture that relief. Yeah, I mean, this horse was settled down. The other horse went actually straight in the box. That, I'm pretty sure, was the jumpy horse. But luckily, now that's done, they're letting everybody flow back through the yard, which means that most people that are walking this way through the yard are going to miss what happens in the tunnel. So let me go and get myself in there very quickly right now. Going to be that relief guard. Which we will be able to capture. Change over regiments from the Blues and Royals, we're looking at the moment, to lifeguards. Already out, so the changeover is likely imminent. I hope so anyway, otherwise we might have a good wait. Yeah, I'm hearing the commands in the yard. Yeah, here we go, guys. Timed it perfectly. It's a 3-man lifeguard relief.
Relief! Halt! Front! Sentries, pass! Arm sentry, left, turn! Police, to your post! Quick, march!
this fellow is going to be a new gatesman, lifeguard gatesman. He will almost certainly not need to shout at anybody as he goes back in the yard. Luckily. The tunnel is pretty busy. Pretty busy, folks. Quite a squish, to be honest. Look. Take a while to get out of here. Okay, so new horses done, gatesman done, chidsman done. I mean, the lifeguards are now officially the King's Lifeguard. All good?
I've been to Welcome Barracks.
Yeah?
Yeah, I beat it seamless, the dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, so you literally ran all the way down?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that. I'm too old to make that run every morning, I tell you. Okay, folks, let's head to the front, have a good look at which horses we've got this morning. Now that's the guard change complete. We've got a trooper in his number 2 uniform hanging the chain. There he is. Dapper fellow, eh? Especially with the riding boots. He's going to lock the boxes. That's it, horsey prison. What a charmer, eh? Look. That's the second one, all done, all locked up. Back to the front we go, folks. Let's see. I honestly have no clue about the horses that are here. I will try and find out. Let's have a look at the markings. Okay, so an absolute uniform HCAV black. Hey, morning. Looks like everyone's here today. I mean, everyone.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
It's about 10 of us here. Morning. The star, though, guys, the star. Look at the star on the front. That is exactly what I'll try and find out about. The star is going to be the giveaway. The star is going to be the giveaway, folks, with this horse. Hopefully, that will let me get an ID. We'll see. I don't actually recognise the lifeguard. No idea if he's new or been away, but I don't know this chap. But that's a pretty unique star, despite the absence of any socks. At the other end, let's see which other one we've got. In fact, they look very similar, the two horses. The other one looks a little more shyer horsey. It's a teeny weeny bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, this one's a bit more like those fluffy blues horses that just left. Noticing which trooper is on the horse. He's got a beautiful horse here this morning as well. Absolutely spectacular horse. 3 socks and the blaze. Yeah, I'll easily be able to ID this horse, guys, and I'll put the name of this horse in front of us in the comments. I know the trooper on the horse, but more importantly, somebody in the lifeguards will know this horse straight off, just because the markings are pretty unusual. So I will aim for that. This video, this video should be up early this afternoon. Yeah, at the latest, I think by 4 o'clock. So let's see. I should be able to get the name actually of the horse before then. It's beauty, this one, eh? Like, really. 11:22. I'm going to try and capture the arrival of the second batch of Blues and Royals, which is not going to be easy, actually, thinking about it. Mainly because there's so many people filming, and I don't want to run across the front of their cameras. We'll see. The thing is, I'm not going to have any indication other than the noise of the hooves when they come through the tunnel, by which time I'll have missed it. It's a tricky one, deciding which is the better spot. Okay, so it's 23, still a little bit early. If they haven't left by 30, I will dash inside. Oh, tourist falling over somebody's pushchair. Incidentally, a few of you had asked what was a pushchair in the comments. Okay? A pushchair is the British English term for a stroller. Yeah, we call it a pushchair, just like we call, you know, an elevator a lift. We call shoes or trainers just that, shoes or trainers. Americans call it sneakers, etc., etc. We call shopping cart, shopping trolley. We call holidays, you guys call it vacations, etc., etc. The list goes on. Yeah, pushchair is just that, the thing that people put their kids in and push around the street, knocking into tourist shins and generally being a bit of a nuisance. In fact, looking now, that is not the jumpy horse right at that end. I really was thinking it was, but no. The jumpy horse, I'm sure, didn't have the star. A lot of the tourists that are coming this morning don't know, as indeed most people would, myself included until quite recently, that they're very fortunate, not only because this is a very beautiful horse. I'm pretty sure this horse is a mare. Just the name is just escaping me. In fact, I put my money on this being a mare. But more importantly, the trooper is a very well known face in the lifeguards, star of many videos. At the same time, very firm, very fair. We're not taking any nonsense at all if the tourists decide to get near the reins, as we'll possibly or possibly not see at some point this morning. See that here there's another group just along the street with a microphone. They're much quieter this time, but you can still hear even though they're far away. For some reason it's always the Spanish-speaking groups that tend to overdo it with these ridiculous PA systems. Chomping that bit, isn't it? Okay, folks, right on time. Excuse me. Here come the rest of the blues leaving. We're just about going to capture it. Here they go. Two cloppy beauties at the front. Magnificent. I mean, absolutely glorious. Really. I'm going to dash over to the other corner, guys. And we will hopefully get to see the lifeguards arriving shortly. The second half of the lifeguard troop, that is. It's a bit unfortunate the two beautiful horses, the two big clippy clop horses, were right at the front. I wanted to see their faces, the looks of joy on their respective fluffy faces as they headed out. Oh, please tell somebody to get out of the way. Somebody's gone right over to the arch behind me. Still in that guard changeover period. It'll be done in less than 5 minutes though, once the rest of the lifeguards have arrived. Yeah, police are having to tell everybody to get into the right spots on the other side of the tunnel. This side, the side I'm on, is closed. Let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. Look, there we are, fingers crossed. Oops. For Overlord being in that second half of the lifeguard squadron. I'm quietly optimistic. That said, I mean, he was here last week, so the chance of him being rotated and there being a different horse is high. Sadly, folks. Let's see. So the full squadron of blues are lined up at the back. They are completely done here, finished. No more Kingsguard for the blues for a good few days, which means up next will be the arrival of those last lifeguards. Then I can concentrate completely without distractions on what's happening at the front with the horses. I'm not going to move because I know the second I move they'll come through the tunnel and then it will be impossible to come over to this corner. So I'd rather, as it were, risk it, even though we might need to wait a little while on this corner. First rounds of the day for this lifeguard. Where is he going? To the front gates. He's the gatesman. Very tall fellow this, actually. Plume aside, he's a tall guy, this lifeguard. Towering over the officers. Okay, I'm hearing commands at the end of the tunnel. That's likely to be the carry swords, in other words, time to move. Come on, let's see. It's imminent, I can tell you that. The people that are in the yard at the moment have no idea just how fortunate they're going to be in a few minutes when the second half of those glorious horses arrive. I mean, let's be fair, where else in the world would you just suddenly stroll through a gate in a high security zone in the centre of political influence in a global capital city and see a bunch of folks riding by on horseback, dressed in glorious scarlet cloaks. Actually, somebody's blowing a whistle at the end of the tunnel. I have no idea what that might be. The guards don't use whistles. Okay, so he's going to both of the boxes. Right, folks, here they come. There is that glorious clippy-clop sound. Clippy-clop in the tunnel again. Clear views. Let's see which horses we've got this time. 1, 2. Big clippy clopper here, number 3, 4, 5, 6, and the corporal of horse. Which horse is this? It's not Overlord, I can tell you that. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know, actually. Anyway, 7. You saw that, 7 in total. And that, folks, is why there's a hell of a lot of police here. But they'll start to disperse now. Why? For the same reason this number of people are coming through the tunnel. Changeover is complete. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. That was this morning's changeover fun here at Horseguards. I'm sure if the trooper is just going to check the boxes because they've already been locked. He's actually just checking on his colleagues. Yep. And there's an awful lot of people here, in fact. for this lifeguard coming back in. Okay, I kind of ran backwards then. Luckily didn't fall over. Got that pretty clearly and cleanly. And more importantly, he didn't shout at anyone, and that's lucky because a couple of minutes later, all of these people would have been at the gate and he would really have had a problem getting through without needing to be vocal or indeed physically pushing somebody out of the way. It's going to be a busy morning, guys, as we will see in part 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that changeover. They're putting the horses in the stables, actually. I just noticed. The captain's horse typically goes in the stable at the very front there on the right-hand side. Sorry, on the left-hand side, through the gates on the left-hand side. It's the stalls, individual large stalls, where the captain's horse will be. Something else is happening, I'm not sure what. Troopers just had a word with an officer. I don't know what the problem is. I think they might change over this horse. I don't know why they might, but it's looking to me as though they're going to change over this horse. I'm not seeing any obvious reason why they need to do that or want to do that, but troopers actually heaving the gate closed when there's a hell of a lot of people in there. Look at this. Let's hope some kid doesn't get themselves squished in the gate. Interesting. Haven't seen this. Yeah, haven't seen this at this point in the morning. An issue. I don't know what the issue is. Hold on a second. Unless there is a protest or something similar. Let's see. It's going to depend on whether they take off the second horse. That's obviously the first horse being taken off. Now it's looking to me like they're only going to take off that first horse. Let's see what happens if the trooper comes back out again. No, the horse is not in any obvious signs of distress. Nothing's happened at all at the front. So either, plus there's not a trooper that's ready to replace the horse. But there's no rush to take off the other horse at the other end. No idea. But you know what, folks? We will find out. Actually, we might find out in a second. So let me see. See if I can ask the trooper here in his number 2. He might tell me. He might not, but it's worth asking. Horse unhappy this morning. Is he unhappy, that horse?
Yeah.
Changing over. Thank you so much. Okay, what a lovely kind trooper. So as he said, changing over the horse. Okay, so new horse is coming out. Don't know why the horse is not happy, but for whatever reason, the trooper on the horse would have said to his colleague, when his colleague went to check, that would have been the gatesman, there's an issue or something's wrong, or we need to perhaps either deal with the bridle reins in some way, tack, or the horse isn't happy. Don't know, didn't see it, and there was nothing obvious there. The horse wasn't jumping about. It wasn't the clipping coffee horse that first came in either. So it's going to be a little bit of a while actually until that new horse is out. Why? Because at the moment there is no mounted lifeguard in the stable tunnel area at the front here, ready to come out. So what I'll do, whilst it's super busy in here, is wait for that new horse to come out, and more importantly, be in a good spot, hopefully to capture it as it gets led into the box. Hopefully it'll be a happy horsey. I'm pretty sure it will be. Okay. How long is it going to be until somebody walks through the box? Oh, not long at all. I was just thinking it's only a matter of time though, and the second I turn around, seriously, somebody walks through the box. His girlfriend, smart as ladies often are, over gents, I'm sure you ladies would agree. It's primarily guys that decide to walk through the box, he being number 2. Oh, goodness me. Well, is anyone going to brave coming this way, I wonder? That's the key question. We'll see, I think, won't we? Very, very busy at the front gate. Oh, there we go. Let's drag your family and kids through the horse's poo.
It's an easy way.
I can understand a few people walking through, but taking your kids through it, I mean, like, what? Oh, goodness me. I'm guessing, though, to be honest, guys, in defense of the tourists, they haven't actually put any obvious gates here. There's no obvious place to exit this yard. It's not as if they've constructed some kind of, you know, metal-looking gate system that would indicate there is access from the yard here onto the public highway. So I can understand the reason that most tourists decide, just like these lovely tourists, to enter via the horse box, as opposed to the non-existent gates, which are right there. Very curious. Oh, goodness me. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's odd. Or is it me, people? Tell me. Is it? Look. But a new public highway they've constructed here. Over those glorious medieval cobbles. Another tall guy at the front shouting and screaming. Okay, it's imminent, the new horse, and the reason I know that is that they wouldn't still have officers here in the yard in the crowd. Notice the officer here on my left, another officer over there, now shifting everybody back a little teeny bit. Just trying to see, actually, I'm not going to get over close. Trying to see if that new horse is... oh, yep. Troopers on the new horse. Now I'm wondering if it's actually going to be the same trooper. That way we'll know 100% whether the issue is with the trooper or with the horse. This is a very, very, very unusual thing for them to bring out a new horse right through the tourist crowd. Okay, same trooper, new horse. I don't actually recognise the horse, but it's the same trooper. Beautiful horse. Having to actually tell everybody to get back because people are too close to the front of the box. Okay, there we have it, guys. That was a pretty simple changeover. So for whatever reason, the other horse, I don't know, maybe there was an issue with one of its feet or something. As I said, there was no obvious signs of why there would be a problem. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was part one of what will likely be two, potentially even 3 parts. I will, of course, therefore be back in the next video.